Hi everyone, welcome to another session of Palo Alto for beginners and experts. So in this session today, we will see how internet is being allowed from Palo Alto firewalls and what all needs to be configured in order to make internet work for users. So to demonstrate the same, let's see how the configuration looks like. So in the lab environment, I have my users sitting behind this subnet, which are coming from the trust zone, and they're going towards the internet, and my internet interface is sitting in the untrust zone. So anyone who's coming behind from network 10 to 010 will be going towards the internet and using Ethernet 1/1 for the same. Because this is zone-based firewall, by default, it comes with the policies where it allows intra-zone access, right? Which means if traffic is coming from trust zone and it wants to go to the trust zone, that traffic will be allowed. But if it wants to go from trust zone to untrust zone, by default, firewall comes with a policy interzone default, which has an action deny. So to make the internet traffic work between the zone, we need to create new policy. So let's create one. I will name it internet, and I will say the source zone is trust, and user, I'm not doing any filtering on the users. My destination zone is untrust. Applications, it can be any, and for the application feature, I want to keep application default. So this means all the applications which are being defined by Palo Alto on their standard ports, only the traffic will be allowed. So if any application that tries to access or try to go onto the internet with the non-standard ports that are not being defined by Palo Alto, that traffic will not be allowed through this policy. And the action tab, finally, you need to set the action, whether you want to allow, deny, drop, or reset. I want to just simply allow the traffic. And a very important setting, it talks about how you want to log the session, whether you want to log at session start and session end. So the best practice is always log at the session end, because if you start logging at session start, you will be ending up filling up your logging buffer, because there are a lot of logs you don't want to see them until unless it is an urgent requirement where you want to see the log at session start. You need to be specific in the policy and then you can create it. But for the entire internet traffic, in this case, I don't want to see the log at session start. I want to see the logs when the session ends, right? And this is where you define where your log forwarding should go. So if you have a syslog server, if you have panorama, if you have other means of receiving log, this is where you configure that. And finally, you need to tell the profile type, which profiles you want to apply to this security policy, which means which scanning you want to have. So if you want to have antivirus profile, vulnerability profile, anti-spyware, URL filtering, whatever you apply here for the same profile, the traffic will be scanned first. And if it passes all the parameters, if it's not carrying any virus, or if it's not falling under the URL category which is being blocked, then the traffic will be allowed. So in my case, I am having a profile, a group profile, which is I'm using. I'm going to apply that and click OK. So this is where we have created our security policy, right? But this is not enough to allow internet access to work, because to have an internet access, we will have to have NAT in place. So if you go under policies and the NAT, here you see there is no NAT by default, so you need to create one. So I'm saying internet NAT. Once you do this, you go to the original packet. So think from the point of view how the traffic will be going out. So the source zone will be trust because this is the incoming packet, the original packet, and it will be going out from the untrust zone. That's your destination zone. And destination interface is Ethernet 1/1 under that zone. And your service can be any. And in the translated packet, how your private to public mapping gonna happen? You say dynamic IP and port, or you have option of dynamic IPs. You want to assign static IP or none. So in our case, we are doing dynamic IP and port, and then we are doing interface address. So in this case, you are saying that map everything that is coming from the trust zone and that wants to go to the internet. You want to map it with the IP address of the interface itself. That is my untrust interface. And we have our NAT in place now. So I'm going to finally commit. And before I commit, let's go to the user machine and see how does this traffic flow look like right now, whether it's working. All right, so we are at the user machine. Let's see what's the IP address. So IP address is 10.20.120 and the gateway is 10.20.10. Can it ping its gateway? Yes, it can. Okay. Okay, can it ping the google.com? Okay, it cannot. So let us run continuous ping here and go back to the firewall. So here, let's commit. And after commit, let's see if user machine can go to the internet and if it can ping successfully. All right. So this commit gets completed. And another way of checking whether your traffic has started matching your policy or not. So if you see in over here, it says hit count, which means something is matching this policy, which is good. And if you refresh here, it is incrementing as well, which means something has started to match this policy, which is very good. Second, go to the monitor tab and go under the traffic logs. So if you go under traffic log, you will see that your traffic is going out and the source IP address is your user machine IP address and the destination is internet and your ping is going out and it is matching the rule internet which we created. So let's go to the user machine and see if it is working. Okay, so the ping has started to work after we finished our commit. So which means the internet has started to work. So we can browse couple of websites to be sure. Google, it is working. CNN, it is working. YouTube, it is working. So that's how you allow internet access on the firewall, and then you can come back here and see the logs for the user and everything that is being going in and out. So this is the place where you see all the logs. If anything is not working or anything gets denied, so come under the monitor and traffic tab, and then you can see everything for the user that is trying to access the internet. I hope this has been informative to you. And if you find any issues or if you want to see more topics in details, please drop in a message and I will try my best to cover the same. Thank you and have a nice day.